We're getting all of our connections live here.
Hi. Are you You're good?
I'm
I
good.
think we're all on.
You're good? Wait, I have one more. Oh god, and there's a cord in the way. What's this
Silly chords.
obstacle course? Like,
Oh. Well, that was not
one more.
Ooh, we got close up over here.
Oh yeah.
good.
Sup? It's not on yet. Sup?
So if you're watching in high def, I'm sorry.
I don't know so much on that one.
Oh shit. Where's my phone? So I can see who's on.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. I dropped an S-bomb.
S-bomb happening.
Hi Rich, welcome
Lord
to Blind
knows we
Wednesday
don't
in Real
use that
Estate.
sort of language
Yes.
in our everyday.
Don.
I was with my friend Judy Lapp last night, and she heard me in total truck driver mode.
Oh, she did.
No offense to truck drivers, but I was.
Hi, Tony
It was
Milano.
on.
So
Tony.
we have a special one this week because all these lovely people have decided to use 43 Homes to buy a new house, and now they've got to get ready to move.
Yeah.
And we're going to help them figure out how to do that.
I got some movers in the house. Movers and shakers. What's that thing on yours? That big?
Oh.
It looks like it wants to do an update or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't.
We'll do that later.
Oh,
So today we're going to talk about the whole transition about going from owning a house to moving out,
yes.
maybe moving in.
But first, cheers.
Cheers.
We haven't been doing this, so.
Whoop.
Woo.
I'm a woo-hoo
So-
girl. Everyone knows.
Tony says hello. Hi, Christine.
Hey, Tony.
So, if you're like me, you wait till the last minute.
Yes. Well, I always find
And then you freak out. Like,
moving because you need to use the stuff. Like
Right.
you need your stuff. So how much can you pack away effectively when you're moving?
Funny, I still have a lot of stuff packed up from when I moved 10 years ago because it just
I
went
know.
into a box in the basement, so
Because
it's
stuff you
ready.
didn't need.
Yeah.
and can I tell you, when you move, you take that stuff with you, and you're like, why did I bring this?
I can see that. Yeah.
So
We had actually 2 rounds of that. Like,
That's right,
stuff
you
I
did.
was like, why did we move this when we moved 10 years ago? And then we moved it again, and I'm like, oh my god, we still have this.
Why did I not get rid of it?
So what's the first thing that you should do probably about 2 months out? And because typically you're going to have about the same timeline, once you get in contract, unless you're with one of our speedy lenders who can close in 45 days or less. But what's our first step?
I don't know. I'm just gonna laugh at this first step because this is not anything I would do.
Yeah, I mean,
Never.
yeah. So, generally I think you start planning, right? I mean,
Right.
at least in your head, I'm not a write-down planner.
I could see you doing this.
Yeah, this
You
is
would
this is
totally
me.
do
I
this.
can
This is
guarantee
this is
to a
TJ
T.
Brown written all
I can guarantee you that this would have an Excel spreadsheet and a shared reminder list with Joel and I on our
There's always
iPhones.
one in the
Yeah.
crowd. So I think start planning. Hey, Melissa. Start planning. Get your stuff in order.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't write it down, you don't put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Just at least in your head, have some form of idea
Mm-hmm.
how you're going to make this work.
What this says is start a file of all move-related documents, contacts, contracts,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
And I think that's going to be a really important step is if you're hiring movers and not doing it yourself. Because you're going to want to have that estimate. You're going to want to get them through your house. You're going to realize that you're probably going to pay more than the estimate.
Yes.
So you really
Probably
need
twice as much
Mhm.
in my case.
But and if you're moving.
Well, I didn't tell them we had a piano.
Oh,
Were
Kind of a big deal.
they?
So the guy showed up.
where's your piano?
It's in the it's like right by the staircase.
Huh.
Yeah, you kind of it blends in pretty well.
They, clearly.
But yeah, so they showed up and they didn't have any like
They didn't have a file.
piano moving equipment, and I'm like,
Because their arms and hands weren't enough.
so all our stuff was in a pod,
Mhm.
and I was like,
Yeah.
because we had 2 different days, and the one they were unloading that day had the piano in it.
Ah,
Mm.
of course.
And I didn't know which pod they were delivering. So when it got there, I looked at the guy and I go, there may or may not be a piano in there that has to come out. Because they're coming to get the pod like first thing in the morning so they could drop the other one.
Like,
Hey,
Anyways,
never
so
did.
don't do what I did.
No.
Oh,
Because I
see?
say, yeah.
See, Don is just like me. He says he compiles a binder for moving
Oh.
with a spreadsheet. He keeps everything handy where it's
Really?
easily accessible. See?
No.
No.
Why?
And it's
I
funny.
have a senior pen.
It's funny because both personality types laughs at the other one, right?
Yeah.
Don's probably dying laughing at my
Clearly,
stupidity
no
and
one
lack of
laughs at
planning.
us.
Right. Right. No.
We laugh at
No,
you.
just
That's all right.
thinking about your moving method would make me nauseous.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Also, yeah.
And it's even worse when the other half of your relationship
Mhm.
is the same personality type. Like,
Yeah.
you know, or if you're both planners
Mhm.
or you're both procrastinators,
Mhm.
and in my case, we're both procrastinators. Ugh.
I have a balance thing going on. My husband is very, detail oriented, wants that list and the.
Yeah.
I don't know that he goes so far as an Excel spreadsheet.
Now I can tell you if I'm moving long distances,
Mhm.
I very early on start getting referrals for like doctors and dentists and those sorts of people because I inside my head I'm like, well, what if I trip and fall and hurt myself while I'm moving? Then I'm going to need a doctor right away.
Well, okay. So
That's
I'm
why. That's
the
what
person.
emergency rooms are for.
I always kind of laugh because I don't laugh. Maybe I do. I don't know. People are so concerned with schools all the time, right?
Mhm.
So not how I was. And when we were moving here, my daughter was starting school. Probably, maybe should have looked into that a little bit, but I.
It seems
was
like it worked out
whatever,
well
let's
for her.
just- Huh?
It seems like it worked out
Yeah,
well
it
for her.
totally
pretty
worked
good.
out fine. But I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that way.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Isn't me.
So plan a little bit, think it through, and either do like TJ does and actually execute, or do like me and wait till the last minute. So that about a week later, what next?
Yeah,
7 weeks.
that's when we're getting
Oh,
all the
that's when
referrals
he
and
was
the medical methods. I
transitioning.
transitioned to week 7.
We were not picking up
Yeah,
what you put
yeah.
down.
So,
Second time I've said that today.
I'm gonna use that.
It
so
works, right?
but you want to have the, because sometimes it can also take a while to get into a physician's office, and sometimes doctors' offices aren't accepting new patients. So if it's going to take you a minute to get that information, then you need to do that. Now, in this day and age, it's a little bit easier, especially with hospitals that or doctors that are interconnected through a hospital network. Like my doctor is with Ohio Health, so my records are really easy for anyone in the Ohio
Yeah.
Health network to access.
Again, this is not something I would do.
No. And, I mean, partially for me, it's like I'm established with my doctor and my
Yeah.
people I use,
Yeah.
and we didn't move that far.
Right.
We moved,
Oh, you could still, yeah.
This
here.
is probably. I mean, this is
Yeah.
some of these steps are
like
pretty
if
much
you're
quicker.
moving out of state.
Yeah, we were from Chicago to here.
Well, yeah.
Well, suburb of Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I would maybe do that stuff once I was settled.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
if I didn't already know.
Well, thank God for Facebook too. Facebook, when we moved here, was not in existence
Mhm.
either. Now you post a question and
Well, that's just
you
it.
get
Yeah.
100. So yeah,
I mean, usually you have a community Facebook group or page,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
people all the time
yeah.
are posting that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like,
Yes.
referrals for doctors or lawn care or whatever.
Yeah, and we have a good one of those in Westgate. Folks are always asking
Westgate
for referrals.
page?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I won't say where I live, but I find some of those people to be downright crazy on those neighborhood boards. Whew. Like,
Okay.
don't be that guy.
Well, there's a group that I used to belong to that I got kicked out of and blocked from. And there's a lot of people who have gotten kicked out and blocked from.
For like combating the crazy or making fun of
I
them.
don't know what the rhyme or reason is for getting kicked out, but yeah, I'm saying there are some people and some groups
Mhm.
that you do need to tread lightly.
Yeah.
All I was doing was posting real estate stuff in it.
Oh.
And I'm assuming that's why I got,
Gotcha.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
I got, and next door, that
Mhm.
group next door, I got complained about there too.
For
Because
posting
a real estate thing.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
But
I
I
have a
just had
feeling
too
it's
much
other
time
real
on it.
estate agents
Yeah.
that are
Well,
doing
that's
that. I mean,
probably-
that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean they're supposed to be more for a lot
But
of places
yes,
say they're more for
there's-
neighborhood things than drumming up your own business.
Yes, yeah. Whichever,
Mhm.
whatever.
Hi, Lacey.
So 6 weeks out, one more week goes by. What are you doing now?
This is a good one, I think.
And this is a great
And this-
song to have in your head the entire time you're moving.
That's exactly when I read that. I was like,
Should it stay or should it
I
go
don't
now?
know. And news. But I think, and I tell everybody, my seller clients this. You're not taking it with you, purge it now.
Mhm.
Have yard sales,
Absolutely.
donate, throw it away, do what you're gonna do with it. Don't do, like I said, do as I say, not as I do, and just start getting rid of stuff.
yes.
You'd be surprised how much you can make in a yard sale. I think this would have been about 10 and a half years ago. We were moving from Marion Village and we had a yard sale, and I mean, we made over $500, and folks were there an hour early. I was warned about this. Okay, if you have a yard sale, you need to be ready an hour early, especially if you put it in the paper,
Yeah.
because those
Or if
folks
you-
are
like if you've
there.
got good stuff and you
Mhm.
advertise, like what the good stuff is.
Hey, I have a mini fridge to get rid of if anybody wants one. Speaking of yard sales, $45.
There you go.
It works.
Hit her up.
Yes. Let me know.
Well, hang on to it in case that one in the kitchen dies.
It's
It's too big. No.
It is. That's the problem. It was too big to take to
Ah,
school. So now I have a fridge and got a different one.
Yeah.
nice.
Well,
Anyway.
I'm telling you though, there's some websites out there and apps. There's an app called Let Go.
Oh yeah, you use that.
Well,
It is amazing.
There's some Facebook pages too,
Uh-huh.
and
Neighborhood
twice
for
I've
sale
had
groups.
people ask. The first one was writing in another language that I don't speak, but I did Google Translate, and they wanted me to bring it to their house for them. And
But some communities
the
there are.
delivery is not.
in-
Oh no, I'm not delivering.
No,
Yeah.
but in some communities, if you are worried about that, like either someone coming to your house or going to someone's houses, some law enforcement agencies have set up safe spaces that are monitored with cameras 24/7.
Can I just go take it there?
I have done that. I
Well-
met someone in the Target parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can meet them in a public place.
The other problem is that this refrigerator is too heavy for me to
Oh.
lift.
More CrossFit.
Yeah, burpees.
No.
Muscle ups.
How many burpees are you doing?
Today was 235.
Oh, I haven't done 235 of anything.
All right, we're down to 5 weeks out.
Yeah.
5 weeks, we're starting to get nervous, but stop buying things that you don't need at the grocery store.
I would not follow any one of
This
these
is
things.
this is not the time for your trip to Costco to stock up on Kirkland paper towels and toilet paper and boxes of water and those sorts of things. You need to move as little as possible.
Or
I
buying
feel like
stuff
we
for the
need
new
paper
house.
towel in the new house.
Yeah, don't buy stuff for the new house.
Like people will go buy curtains and like they'll start shopping for their furniture.
IKEA opened.
Stay out of IKEA until you move.
Yes, don't go to
Well,
IKEA.
quite frankly, actually, this probably isn't that kind of shopping, but some of the shopping you're not allowed to do anyway
Whoa.
because of lending.
This is a very
So,
Oh,
yeah. Don't
furniture,
Yeah.
cars,
Credit
don't put it
cards.
on credit.
don't.
If you insist
Charge
you
it.
have to buy it, don't buy it with credit, especially
Cash
new lines of
only.
credit.
I don't know if you remember this. We were in a meeting at the old brokerage, and an agent said that her client financed a dog 3 days out.
Finance a dog.
Yes. First, I didn't know that you could buy a dog on credit. Second, don't do it
What kind of dog?
3 days out. I don't know, probably designer breed. Oh,
Designer.
hi, Sean,
You mean a
Greg.
lot?
Otter Domingo joined us again for Wine Wednesday.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, he financed a dog. Fortunately, luckily it didn't cost him the house, but he could have lost the house because of it didn't go his credit.
Because of the dog.
Yeah, don't do it.
I do love dogs.
hmm So by this time, we're probably about 4 weeks out. We've
Yes.
gotten all the inspections done. That's where you are in the home buying process, but now you've got more to do. What are we going to do now?
Well, now you're going to get those supplies.
hmm
And this is another good tip.
Tape. Yeah, this probably. And again, Facebook. Hello.
Yes.
hmm
I see this posted all the time. I have moving boxes. Or does anyone have moving boxes?
hmm
Always.
You know, whatever happened when I was younger and I lived in smaller communities, we just went to Kroger and got egg boxes. Do people even do that anymore?
Egg box.
Egg boxes?
Like the boxes that the cartons of eggs come in, because they're good size, they're rectangular, they are about the
They're
width
strong.
of your, and they're
Well,
strong.
would have thought to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go to the grocery store, ask for boxes. I mean, that's the way I always did it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done it, but now I've seen it. People, you know,
It's expensive if you go. I mean,
Well-
we did buy stuff at Home Depot.
Oh, Home Depot
or
and
at
U-Haul.
U-Haul. Yeah,
Mhm.
like what are the big with the bar?
Oh, the
and
wardrobe.
Wardrobe boxes. Yeah.
But you know, and here's the thing: if you're going to have ample storage in your new place, make a decision whether you need all boxes or if you're going to have seasonal things that you store, and then get plastic tubs. Because I mean, you don't want to buy plastic tubs for everything that you're moving.
Right.
But if you need some, get them and put the things that need to go in there, so they're already
Absolutely.
packed away.
Yeah.
And use them strategically. I mean, put them, the stuff that you are, your memoirs and stuff you're going to keep, and you're going to keep it in a basement that's, you know, it doesn't have to be a wet basement, but
Mm-hmm.
basements by nature are, you know, have moisture in the air. So put your stuff you're going to keep long term in those plastic bins
Mm-hmm.
and just plan strategically as you're packing.
And if you're me, you've bought a label maker so that you can label those
That's-
plastic bins in the
TJ.
basement.
This is what a Sharpie is for.
Actually, we have a label maker. Mike has a label maker.
I've got the giant brother
You
one.
guys are too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
All right, and now you need to make sure that you lock down that mover if you haven't done so already, because some of them are booked pretty far out.
Oh.
Now that's probably one I'd put on the 8 weeks out.
I probably would do yes.
Because especially if you're moving towards the end of a month, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because a lot of people, you know, renters especially, leases end the last day of the month, so you get a lot of people moving at the end of a month. And
Yes.
if you wait, you're going to be hauling boxes yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and more power to you if you can do it, but
I feel like
past
I'm
that
not gonna
point in my
move
life,
again.
ever. Let me tell you,
It's such a pain.
now that I did it again, I'm done.
And like I like when we're showing homes and I see or like you know, I just think when I go into my house and I'm in the basement or in a room, I
Mhm.
just think that is the last thing I want to do is purge and go through this stuff and
But you know,
it's just collected.
I did it a lot. I moved a lot when I was growing up. I'm happy that I've been in this place for as long as I had, but we actually regularly, like every 2 years, do a major purge. We just did one for the garage. And we get a dumpster wheeled in, we go through and we purge things. Or Baxter.
I need
Baxter
a
is
dumpster.
really good too if you don't have a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're like $40 for the Baxter and $80 or $90 to have it hauled away. And you put it in your yard or your driveway, you fill it up, and you call them when you're ready to come get it.
We're doing a purge right now because someone is an empty nester now.
Woo!
And
You ripping down those walls?
no,
Oh yeah, did you decide to do that?
we haven't decided. Actually, that conversation has not come up again.
Oh.
But what we're doing is going into a couple of rooms
Oh
in the
my God.
house and like, we don't need this anymore. We don't need these toys anymore. You know, like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Getting rid of.
Now, some stuff too, if it's still usable, you can donate, and there are places that will come pick it up from your house, and you can use it as a tax write-off.
Those are great. I mean, you know, and you'll get, you know, if you try to do a yard sale or you donate it, you'll get more, in most cases, a tax write-off is you're actually going to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
So we've got a ton of books, like books, kids' books, that I don't want to throw out because I feel bad throwing out a
So,
book.
a good place for kids' books would be call Nationwide Children's Hospital or the Ronald McDonald House.
Would they take them?
A lot of times they
I
will.
think if they're
If they're in good condition.
and they're like, you know, I don't know that they'll take every book because otherwise they're just gonna get.
I got a ton of books, like a ton.
So I had a client who, his father was a physician and was in the era when all things were in book form. You know,
Yeah.
you couldn't just get it online. So he had tons of medical books.
Yes.
And you know, we kind of thought maybe like a library or you know historical.
Mm-hmm.
No one wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
He had to pay someone basically to come haul them to
It would
like.
be like encyclopedias.
Yeah.
Does that? I mean, is
No,
that
I don't
even,
think anybody uses those. But
I mean, and
Do they
anymore
even
they
make
scan.
those anymore?
Well,
So-
Wikipedia.
so
like-
so Jenny, one use for those when you're taking out what do you call it, the moth machine or and
The Move Storm.
the Move Storm.
That's
Your
RV.
I was like,
We're
is
gonna
your-
work this out.
is your RV
if
purple?
you're going camping, you can
Just
use
leave
those.
them in the
No, you
campground,
can use
burn
those
them
to start
in the
fires.
fire?
Think about it. I mean, you use paper all the time to start a fire.
It's actually a really
This
good
sounds
idea.
like Fahrenheit 451 to me.
What is
Like,
that?
It's
You've
that
never-
book about
When they
book
burned
about-
all the books, you've never read it? Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451?
You know, I don't need that attitude, TJ. No, I haven't read it. Don't make me
I'm
feel
sure
like a
you-
fool.
You're too busy selling houses to read books.
It was like one of those required readings.
Yeah,
in,
it
like,
was-
8th grade. Like, you probably read it, but it's been so long.
Well, you know, Chicago schools and all.
Wow.
I don't recall it reading.
Alright, so let's get to week 3.
Okay.
I read Judy Blume books.
I love Judy Blume.
I've never read.
Love Judy Blume.
And
You've
Thanks,
never read
Don.
a Judy Blume book?
I've never read a Judy Blume
Oh,
book.
Oh.
No.
Tale of the 4th Grade Nothing, Super
No.
Fudge.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
What was the boy one? Like, because the
Oh
The Hardy Boys.
no,
they were
Judy
like the
Blume.
coming of age
Yes,
books. that
I've
teach you
never
about your
read
body
those
and-
books.
you should.
Oh.
They're enjoyable.
Well, we'll have to get them when we have kids.
I'll read the
I have
fire
them all.
one.
You
You
can have
read the
them,
Judy.
like-
I have them at my house. I'll bring them. We'll start a library here for
There you go.
students. Anyone who wants to check out.
Beverly Cleary, Mouse and the Motorcycle. Remember that one? That was a good one.
I was more Mark Twain and Edgar Allan Poe.
Of course you were.
All right,
Of
let's
course.
get to week 3.
TJ was an advanced student.
No, I'm just a dork. So week 3.
Oh, 3 weeks out.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
So this is the question I always get from clients too. Usually a couple days before closing. However, when do I schedule the utilities?
And honestly, I think a couple days
It's
before
fine.
closing is
Mhm.
because
But
to
this
be
is something
honest-
I actually did do way prior.
Mhm.
We were moving to a new state. I don't know. I just took it upon myself to find out the information. Like,
Mhm.
who am I calling? What am I doing? You know.
well, to be honest, like things happen that delay closing. So you call to schedule utilities
Mhm.
for a date. Closing gets delayed. Then you have to remember that you did it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I would actually go ahead and just use this week to get the information together, because
Of who you're calling?
and it's really easy. Ask the seller. Have your agent call the seller's agent and say,
Yeah.
who handles trash, recycling? What are the utility companies?
Yes.
What cable companies or satellite companies offer service in the area? Internet providers,
Right.
and just get the list.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to spend a couple hours calling them one day
Yeah.
right before you close, but you know,
You have to anyway.
but if you've prepared ahead of time,
Then
you
you can-
have that time.
You
and-
prepare in your Excel spreadsheet with your label maker.
Yes, you don't need a label maker in. Hi, Melissa.
Yeah, you can put the labels in the
You
space.
print it out, just put a
No,
label on it.
no, but
That's
I do.
not
I do
right.
use the label maker for my file folders,
Yes.
and I will staple papers into the file folders so that I can flip them up like this. Binders with tabs.
The OCD
By the
is
way,
killing me.
I found out that, just so you know, that there are actually awards for they're like
organization?
no, they're like Microsoft Excel championships. I just found this out. I saw an article that I have to go
We
back and
need to
read.
get you in it. I will come cheer you on.
You know what I'm me on?
I will come
Merge
for you
those
on.
cells. Merge those cells. Yeah, it's my version of Ninja Warrior. 2 weeks out.
I believe the words we're looking for is okay. what's
Okay,
next?
again, I would so not do this.
No.
Playing your
I would
meals
do
around
this.
what's in the fridge.
Yeah,
Uh,
what's left in your. I'm sorry, we're going to the restaurant,
Yeah.
or I'm still
you
grocery
you
shopping.
eating Papa John's for 2 weeks?
I could eat Papa John's for 2 weeks. I could easily. Eat
I
that.
did in college for sure.
I could eat pizza, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every
Papa
day
John's and
for
Gordon's.
a good long
When
while.
I was at Capitol, Papa John's had a $5 one
That's
topping
what I was
special.
gonna say. And we got it all.
And I can tell you that is how I gained
Hey,
all my
Brandon.
weight in college.
But that's a good weight to gain.
See, but in college I couldn't gain weight if
Mhm.
I tried. Like now I look at the pizza and I gain it.
Now,
It's at least 5 if I eat pizza. I wake
At
up the
least
next
5.
day, I'm 5 pounds up.
Damn, how much pizza did you eat?
Like 2 pieces. That's
what would you get? Did you get a Buckeye from Adriatico's?
No, this is the thing is that you guys are men, I'm a woman, and that is the problem. And you know, because I'm like 27 now. So,
You also need, though, to check. If you're not moving far away, this isn't an issue. But if you are moving far away, you need to make sure your bank has a branch, or you need to prepare to like after closing.
Yeah.
After closing, go by the bank, get a cashier's check, and open up an
switching
account.
banks is not easy. That
No.
is really
Don't-
pain in the.
Don't switch
Hey,
banks
you do.
before you close.
No, please don't. Please.
Again, that's not allowed.
You are on financial lockdown. Corey, do you hear that? If you're buying a house, we're going to put you on financial lockdown.
Yes. Don't move money. Use
Don't
money.
do anything with your money.
Yeah, just don't.
No.
Alright, so.
1 week out, we're almost there.
All right, Sarah.
Oh
we're-
my god,
we're-
it's time to pack 1 week out. No way.
Oh no, I've been
2
packing
days
this whole
out.
time. I've been packing. Now
Now this is one I'm like, I start.
Maybe within the 1 week.
Can I tell you?
period.
I have a friend of mine who hasn't popped on here yet. His name is Dan.
Yes.
When he moved, he got the dimensions of the moving truck because he did it himself. Taped out on his floor the dimensions for the U-Haul
Right.
and boxed and pre-stacked everything. Now that is a step that I don't take it to.
Dan.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't-
this has become a lot about crazy. Sorry,
But
TJ.
no, but you know,
offense.
but you know what? I will do that next time. And I think Joel and I did. Like we started pre-packing immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
No.
No.
Well, I don't think waiting till the week of
No.
to start packing. And trust me, this is from my experience. Don't wait that long. Because like we did like maybe 2 weeks out, and we're like, we'll just do this slowly over 2 weeks. Well, then it becomes like, oh shit, like.
Well, you need the stuff though. That's the problem. Like so much of the stuff you're still using.
Well,
But
like
you get through
clothes.
seasonal clothes. You know, you don't need all your dishes. At this point, I'm already eating off paper plates and
Are you?
plastic. Yeah.
Or out, like eating out.
Well, that would require
Yeah.
a Costco trip, which was clearly said 5 weeks out. You're not doing it.
Okay, so do you know
So
that I will,
you know.
I will do this, and I swear to you, I will figure out how many meals we're having,
I did
how
not
many,
doubt this in the
and then
least
I
that
will
you would
know
do-
then how many plates I need, how many sets of plasticware we need, plus a 10% extra reserve, and I will buy that quantity.
TJ,
and have it
I
enough.
just feel like you and I
Man.
could never live together. I would drive you
If-
nuts.
By the end of your days, by 8 o'clock in your day, I'd be exhausted thinking about stuff that much. Like, yeah, can't do it.
No,
Maybe I can.
can't do it.
Maybe I can charge extra to help people plan their moves.
You
I
should.
think, Most importantly, the week of, you need to be focused on, you know,
The
what you got to
financing.
do to get to that day
Yes.
where you're gonna get the keys.
Yes.
Like,
What
you
do your
know,
friends think of our movement?
Oh. So Cheryl says, people who bought our old houses, people who bought their house, went on a spending spree. And then the score dropped, and it held up 2 sales, not just the one. Because they
Yeah,
were buying and
you
selling.
know, it happens,
Yeah.
and like you just don't shop,
Yeah.
don't spend, don't do anything
But
I had
unless
a-
it's cash.
I
Again,
had a client that he got in an accident, not his fault,
yeah.
and they totaled his car. He had to buy a car.
So how did that work?
He couldn't get the loan. Luckily, he had cash. Like he didn't want to, but he had cash that he could buy the house with. So he was still able to close. But in
That's
most
not
cases,
right. I mean, how do you control that?
I think
you
I
can't control that.
see in that situation. I feel like the banks should be able to
see what
happened and just waive it. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, you need the credit score, but there's clearly extenuating circumstances.
What you need to know, and this is no offense to any lenders watching, or to the bank, and not your loan officer, or the person making the decision. You are no more than a stack of numbers.
Well, that's it. They're just
Um,
that's not
and-
that's
and
just
that's
a
why we're-
fact. It's not
that's
an
why we're
offensive
so
statement.
adamant.
Yeah.
about the not spending money. Because
Well,
if the numbers don't add up in their parameters, you're not going to get the loan.
you know, but quite frankly, I would just, even if a loan officer says something is okay to buy, don't.
Uh-huh.
Because I have run into a scenario where a loan officer said something was okay to do, and
And then the
never
underwriter said
before
no.
had it been an issue, and then of course, and then it was. And I just, and what we're talking about is the big purchases.
Mhm.
cars, furniture, something that needs to be financed in order to purchase.
Don't
Obviously,
open-
grocery shopping is
Don't
not.
take
yeah.
advantage of that Home Depot credit card
Right.
offer.
Right.
You're moving
I
into
just-
a house on the lake and you
Yeah,
just have
like,
to have a boat.
You
like,
know, just hold off on it. So carpet, furniture, that kind of. You know, you have to buy groceries. You have like that kind of
Right,
stuff.
but
It's
don't put
not,
them on credit.
Right. Credit cards are no.
Because what's going to happen is a day or two before closing, a bank can rerun your credit.
Right.
And if it's something you opened a line of credit to buy the car,
Right.
or
Your
whatever it
available
is you
credit
bought,
drops dramatically.
Yeah.
those things all affect
Credit
your
score gets dinged. Debt to loan or
Yeah.
debt to income ratio goes. You know, it just messes with everything.
But the one tip on here I think is great. While you're packing, make sure you have the box or boxes that are, these are the things that have to be opened first and have them clearly marked. And I would just put them in your car. Because then, you know, because you,
Where's that one?
it's on one week out.
Oh.
Be sure to mark what needs to be unpacked first and set
didn't
those
read
items
that
aside.
picture.
So you have to, cleaning supplies are huge.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want
under
those
that,
before you unpack.
under
yeah.
the sink or
Yeah.
wherever you keep them, put them in something and just take them with you. And then you
Yeah, because then ultimately what happens is you end up spending unnecessary money to buy another broom and a whole set of.
And you're gonna want to clean your house when you first move in. I don't care. Like even the first home we ever purchased, the seller so kind of her. She clean. I mean, she was a clean person, and she cleaned that house even after she cleaned it, so that we would move into this beautiful one. Still cleaned it. And then the second house we bought here, the person we purchased it from did not clean it, and.
now you know if you're not moving that day or you have a few hours to spare, there are cleaning services that you can schedule
Yes,
a move in
I would
or a
do
move
that.
out clean.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
It's worth spending the money to hire a cleaning service before you list your home.
Yes.
To come through and do
Yes.
a top to bottom clean.
Worth having them come in.
You know,
prior to
so you know
moving
you're
in as
gonna
well.
you're gonna close
Right.
at 10 o'clock in the morning because you're excited. You can schedule them to be there at 12. Go out to lunch, relax a little bit, have the moving trucks get there later, and give them those 2 hours to clean your home.
And the seller's responsibility is really only to do a broom sweep, and
It just-
a basic clean.
they-
You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
I think go in with the expectation
It's not
that
a
you're
big
moving
deal.
into
Yeah.
a spotless home.
Yeah.
Right.
It just never works that way.
Just isn't.
No. So you bought your house with 43 homes. Now you've learned how to move into your house with 43 homes. We are just all sorts of help this week.
Yeah.
I'll
So
tell you what.
Oh wait, did you tell people what the board is behind us? Have we gone over the board before?
I think so.
We have.
Why don't we remind the people watching now?
you can't see on your screen, but
Because the pins are small.
there are little blue pins all over the map, and mine's cut off. But the number on the side is how many homes we've closed since 43 homes started. December 2015. 2 years in December. So
Just over a year and a half. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. 107.
So
Go
Who wants
us.
to be number 108?
yes. Come on, we got a pen waiting.
I have it coming up.
Yes.
Oh. Actually. Oh no, we took it down for the one up. Yeah.
So,
And,
got
and we have some
three coming
we
up.
have some houses where there's multiple pins in the same spot because we sold the house twice.
yeah. So, anyways, come
Be a
grab a pen.
Be a pin with us.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think that's
Always.
Yes.
a wrap on our
Cheers,
Thank you.
folks.
Jenny, thank you.
Yeah. Empty.
So we will see you all 3 p.m. next week.
Next week.
See ya.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye all.
Bye.
Ending. Don't trip. Don't trip.
I like it a lot better on my laptop than I did.
Were you in?